Hello and welcome back to the loft with me, Johnny Boy, Jubsy, whatever you want to call me. I answer to most things. Here we are at Harold Road, and you lot want more videos. Yeah, it's a bit weird. People are asking me for more videos. Well, I'll do you a video. The Facebook page is still going great. Thanks for all your support out there. Wouldn't mind getting a few more of you on the YouTube channel. I know, you know, there's 9,000 of you on Facebook, but only about 3,000 on YouTube. Come on, spread the word about Harold Road. I'm doing this video today. So what's the video going to be about? I was going to do another video like about the layout and stuff, but it was my birthday last weekend. Yeah, my birthday. 53 now. Don't look it, do I? Huh? So my son Adam, young Adam, he bought me two Hornby Class 67's, EWS ones. Now that's 001 and 025. I think it's 025. I've got my glasses on. Hang on, I've got to check. Yeah, 025. They were non-runners. Now, I haven't had the original batch, you know, the first ones that came out, the 67's. I haven't had any of them for ages. I've got 67013 still in its box, and I also got 67027 in Colas. Now they're still in the boxes. I haven't even started those yet. But young Adam bought me these. Hang on, Scott. They're teetering. They're teetering. Adam bought me these two old Hornby models. Now they are the super detailed versions, you know, and I've done them up. So I'm going to show you what I've done to those, and also 67025 is still kind of in works. So let's talk about the Hornby Class 67. Now, I'm not sure when it was released, but it's quite a while ago. It's a good 10-15 years ago, it must be. Someone put me right in the comments below. Now, it came fairly after the 60 and the 56. They're heavy models, very heavy model. And if you're a DC modeler like myself, it's a fantastic model. Because it's heavy, it's got really, really good slow running capabilities. And the one good thing, if you are a DC modeler and you buy yourself the super detailed version, not the railroad version, not that there's nothing against the railroad version, but the super detailed version, if you put that on your track, your lights will come on almost immediately, just like the 56s and the 60s. Now, as I said in my last video, some of the other manufacturers need to look at this when they do their lighting, because the new Acura scale Class 66 has to be doing 30 miles an hour before the lights come on. Now these are older models. This is 67025, which is still being done up, and you can probably see that. But this is quite an old model now. And when I put this on the track, not only does it crawl, but the lights come on almost immediately. Yeah. So this is a good thing for Hornby, really. I wish Hornby would move forward a little bit more, and they've got the 60, they've got the 56, and they've got the superb 67. Stop messing around with the railroad versions. I know there's nothing wrong with the railroad versions if you haven't got a great deal of money, but you can pick this one up. I've seen this one, 67013, I think it is, brand new for £89. I've also seen there is a blue version, 67002, just plain blue, £79. So you can't tell me that. What would you rather have, the railroad version with no lights and, you know, the old Lima tooling, or pay an extra couple of quid and get the super detailed version for under £100? And I'll show you in a minute just how good these are on the track. I'm also going to show you how I weather my 67's and the detailing I've put into them. So yeah, this video is not really going to be about the layout. It's going to be about the Hornby Class 67. So if you want to see some layout updates, that will come in a separate video. This is just a video from me to you about the project I'm working on at the moment, which is fixing these Class 67s, and a little bit about the Class 67 from Hornby. So without further ado, let's take a look at a couple of the locos that have been worked on the workbench. So let's have a look at some of these. Right, so here is my first project that I did a week ago. This is 67.016, and this is how it runs around at the moment on the main line. It's still in this livery, and I've copied it almost to how it is right now. I have done a few changes to this locomotive because, if you can see this, I've completely changed the front end. Now what I've done here is, and I know some of you can't do this, but I had some spare Acura Scale Class 66 buffers, so I've removed the Hornby ones, and the Acura Scale Class 66 buffers go straight in the holes that the old buffers come out of, and I think that's quite a bonus. I've also fitted some Class 66 Buckeye couplings, because the ones that do come with the Hornby model are not very good, but those ones from Acura Scale to fit the Class 66 are almost identical. I've weathered this one in a matte varnish, as well as a streaking effect on the roof. As you can see there's quite the lighting isn't really doing it much favors, but you can see where I've done a drag method with paint. I'm going to show you how to do that later on, actually. And the whole thing itself, the body wise, has had a coating of AK Interactive Ultra Matte Varnish. Now you can clearly see where I've tried to make the thing look worn. I've also faded the lettering and the numbers as well. Under frame, well, the bogies, I've got some tractor on them, and then this, obviously this section here is just, I've just done that matte black. The fuel tanks are matte black. Then you move up to the bogie again and it's tractor. Seems to be quite a few of those. If you look at pictures on the internet, they do tend to look a little bit like this. You don't often see a lot of muck along the side. And this is a curious thing I saw of the picture that I saw of 67.016. That little section there is normally red, but the video I saw of it going through crew had it black, so I put that on as well. I'll just give you a good look at the roof there. As I say, I'm going to show you exactly how I did this, and it's not exactly difficult. So there you have it. That is 67.016. Weathering wise, again, I've done this before. I always give my models what's called a panel line wash. Now that's mixing up matte black, matte leather together with some 50/50 thinners, and then you just drop your mixture into any recessed panel lines you come along. And I tell you what, if I can spin this around, I'm gonna have to move this forward slightly. If I can spin this around, it's not a lot of room on my work. There we go. I'm knocking things already. You can get it into all the little recessed areas, and you can also again see the detailing I've put into that roof there. Faded paintwork. And you're going to think to yourself, how on earth did you get that paint to look so faded, JB? Well, I will show you that later on, because we are working currently on 67.025, and you can clearly see at the moment she's nice and shiny, but I'm going to show you how to do this roof method to make it look like this, and it's not that difficult. Now before we move on to that, we'll move on to the loco behind, which is 67.001. So here is 67.001. Now with this model, I've made the front look a little bit more chipped and worn. Again, it's got Acura Scale Class 66 buffers and Acura Scale Class 66 Buckeye couplings. But what I have done on here, I've left the body side kind of slightly shiny, but again I've done the roof in matte varnish after I've done the streaking effect. So that's the first model that my son bought me. It was a non-runner, and I had to obviously clean up the pickups, and they were disgustingly dirty. The wheels were filthy, but it didn't take long to actually get it all fixed, get the new buffers fitted, the buck eyes, and then give it a bit of a weathering. I think I did it all in about 6 hours. So this is what I can do in 6 hours. You can clearly see where I've done a panel line wash on the doors there. Moving along, you can see panel line wash again. And it does really bring the model to life. And one thing I do love about these 67s is you can see right through there, the radiator section there. So what we're going to do now is, first I'm going to show you just how great these things are out of the box, and then we're going to move on to 67025, which is in the middle of works, as you can see, and I'll show you just how you can do your roof like this, and it's not difficult. So let's just see how these things run from the box. So we've removed Charlotte 67027 from its box. It's brand new, it's never been run. Let's see how these things run. These are heavy locomotives, so they run quite well. Let me just get this tripod down slightly. You can get a good view of, if you look closely there, let me just undo this. You can see other locomotives. This is junction road stabling sidings. There's 67016. There's 66089, which has been faded and weathered, almost the same as 16. I'll show you how to do that actually later on. And then we move over to junction road stabling sidings there. There you go, some mixed traction in there, including 66s, 56s, 47s, 37s, and an 08. Yeah, but we're not here for that, are we? I said this video is all about class 67, so let's get this back where it should be. Ugh. Oh look, there's another 67 there. Look, forgot I had that one. That one's Keith Heller, so that's 67018. So let's see how this baby runs straight from the box. Look at that. Yeah. Look. All right, it's a bit fast, isn't it? It's a bit fast. It's a bit fast. I'll slow it down. It was slightly too fast there, but they are heavy and they do run really nice and slowly. But the best thing about these models is, these old Hornby 67s, the super detailed ones, is the lights. And then let me show you why. Now, if I turn this on, you will see almost immediately we have lights. We got lights. Look, and it's going slowly. Look at that. And if I do it the other way, this is dirty track, by the way. We've got red lights, and that's going slowly. This is why modern manufacturers should kind of wake up the fact that we're not all DCC. Some of us are still traditional DC modelers. There you go. That's why I love this model so much. The Hornby 67 is just cool because you got lights when the thing is going slowly. Look at that. Anyway, should we crack on with the weathering tutorial? Yeah, I think so. So this is the first time I've kind of done a weathering tutorial live, and I'm going to do it live. I've already cleaned the roof up on 67025. I've already done what's known as a panel line wash, and that is mixed up some matte black and some matte leather, thinned the paint down, and then I've gone into all these recessed panel lines. I've cleaned all the roof down so it's ready to be done. We're going to do what's known as a streaking fading effect. That involves some matte white enamel, some white spirit, and a little palette to mix it up. We're going to thin it down slightly. What we're going to do is make this roof look faded. It's quite simple, and this is all you need to do it. So we're going to, I've already mixed my paint so it's ready to go. I meant stir it is what I meant to say. So I'm going to put a little bit of white paint into my palette, add a little bit of white spirit. Hopefully this experiment is going to go okay. Add a little bit more. Okay. You don't want to drench the roof in your cocktail. So we do basically a side at a time. Okay. So I'm going to dab a little bit on the roof here like that. Okay. You do it in sections. We grab a lint-free cloth and we wipe downward. There we go. And already we've got a faded streaking rough line there. I'm going to take it all the way down to the edge there. Okay, and then we move on. There's no point me doing the whole of the roof because you'll be bored. You'll be bored senseless. So I'm going to do it halfway with you, and you wipe until you're basically happy with it. Just remember that streaks and dirt always go downward. You never ever wipe horizontally. Never, never, never. See, I could now add a little bit more if I wanted to, and I'm going right from the top. There is a ridge on the top, but I'm going from that ridge downward, and the paint is obviously going down slightly onto the cantrail line. I'll just get rid of that just by wiping it. I don't want it to go that far as yet. There we go. So I'm going to do another bit there and there. It does take a bit of time to do it, but the effect at the end is really good. And also it traps some of the paint into some of these panel lines as well. As you can see, I'm just tidying up this cantrail area. There we go. I don't want it to go any further than the edge there as yet. And I'll just keep wiping until I'm happy. I'll do a few more there. You can just keep going, basically. Here we go. And again. It is time consuming, but as I said, the effect at the end is really quite good. I'm just going to get rid of that fingerprint there. There is a fingerprint. Do the edge there and along there. And what I'll do is I'll pause it in a moment and I'll show you the entire roof, because otherwise we'll be here all day. But it's entirely up to you how you do it. You can add more, you can add less. I hope you can see there how it's turning out. I'm going to add a little bit more just there. Remember to do it nice and slowly. And then just tidy up as you go. So what I'm going to do is I'll pause you for now. I'll do the entire model and then I'll come back to you and you'll see exactly how this stage one finishes off. So here we have it. I've done the entire roof. I have wiped one side and then I've gone across and done the other side. So this is phase one. So this is the streaking section of the weathering of the roof. We're now going to turn our attention to this little piece along here just underneath the cantrail grill. We're going to get some white paint in there to make that look a bit faded. Now the way to do that is, again, it's a little bit time consuming, but if I zoom in slightly here, we're going to start here and do exactly what we did a moment ago at the other end, but we're just going to go along the top here. I don't want to go too far away, and again all I'm going to do is wipe until I'm happy with it. Now normally I would hold the model with the other hand, but as we're doing this video I'm going to do it the best I can. I've just got to do that bit at the end there. Just missed that slightly just there, so we'll just get that in there like that, and then we'll give that a wipe down as well. Now the aim is for this to look faded along this top line, and we just work our way along. You don't want to go over the cantrail line, you want to get it in there, and the idea is to leave some of that paint within that seam line. See what I mean there? See that? There you go. Now you can see that there is paint left in that seam line, and I'll just wipe away until I'm happy with it. and already it looks quite cool. And you just work your way along the model on both sides, just doing that. And it does leave a nice kind of faded area. You can add streaks if you want, but I don't go too much over the top with this. That looks pretty cool so far, and I'll just continue working my way along, and I'll come back to you in a moment when that bit's finished. Right, so stage 1 is now complete. We've got the streaking where we want it to be. We had the same effect on the front cabs, so literally dab it on and just wipe it down. Added a few little white patches there where paint has gone. You can clearly see where paint is now trapped in the recesses. We've got the streaking effect all the way. So what I'm going to do now is quickly mask off the top roof grille, and we'll give that a blast of track dirt, and then we will do the exhaust and roof dirt all the way across. So I'm going to mix up some matte black and matte leather, and I'll come straight back to you. Okay, so I've mixed up some matte leather and some matte black into a plastic shot glass, which you can buy from any convenient home store like B&M or your local QD, but they are invaluable for using an airbrush because you can mix your paint. So what we're looking for is a 50-50 mix of your paint and your thinners, and it should be the consistency of skimmed milk. That's good to go. So I'm going to pour that into my airbrush, and we are going to do the radiator top grille on the roof. I've just prepped my airbrush. This is my airbrush, my main airbrush, which is an Iwata HP CR3. That's in quite a few years of work. She's a bit battered, but she does the job. I always use Iwata airbrushes because they are cool and they never let you down. Plus the fact you can use the HP CR3 with enamel paints, which is the only medium I actually use. Now this piece here, I'm just going to make sure that everything's working, which it is. We've got the spray pattern, which is wide, and then what we'll do, we'll just put the model there, you can see, and I'm just going to put the roof dirt onto this top radiator grille. Couple of light coats, give it a dry, and then again just making sure we get an even coat, not going too mad with it. 2 or 3 coats is absolutely fine. Just give it some air, and then just making sure it's all there, which is good. Cool, happy with that. Just dry it off with some air. And that is job done for that. Put the airbrush down in its holder, and then we'll carefully remove the masking tape, which you can probably see me doing, hopefully. I use Tamiya masking tape. I find that is the best tape to use, and I use the 16mm variant. You can get thinner, 6mm, 10mm, but I actually like to use the 16mm because it's nice and wide. So now that's all been touched in, we can do the entire roof with some track dirt. So if I move you into the middle of the shot, I'll try and get you in the middle of the shot there. Let's move it slightly, there we go. That should do it. And I'm just going to give a nice little coating all over the roof. Not too mad, again, I don't want it to look over brown, but that will also tone down the shiny roof as well. There we go. Because you don't want to lose your streaking effect. So what I'm going to do now is quickly mix up some matte black. We'll do a quick exhaust stain, and then we'll do the matte varnish on the roof, and that's when everything will kind of come alive. So bear with while I just mix up some matte black. Right, so I've just mixed up some matte black paint, 50-50 with the thinners again, and we're just going to do the exhaust area. I'm just going to do a quick test to make sure the paint's gone through. There we go. It's always best to have a test before you actually use your airbrush on your model. Always wise. Okay, so we're just going to do the exhaust area. Now I know it's not going to spatter, so it's going to be pretty good. Just do another quick test, that's fine. Just going to give it a quick, not too much. Follow the direction of the exhaust where it would be. I'm not going to go too mad. Nice gentle coats, a little bit on the front, a little bit around the exhaust itself, and there you have it. There's your exhaust stain. We're now going to move on to the magical part, and that will be, we're going to matte varnish the entire roof. Now that will dull everything down, it will make everything look really, really smart. Anything shiny will be erased. I've masked off the areas I want to mask off. I'm just going to get that matte varnish ready, and then we'll give it a final coat, and that'll be the roof done. Now this is the stuff I use. This is AK Interactive Ultra Matte Varnish. I'm going to stick that in a tumbler, stick it into the airbrush, and then we'll do our last piece of magic. So here is the Ultra Matte Varnish. I put that directly into the airbrush. Just make sure it's actually going through, which it is, and then we'll just do our model all the way to the masking area. Now this will dry ultra matte. It will take any shine off the roof. Dries fairly quickly as well, and you'll see the magic in a moment when it. Turn this around slightly. Oh, there we go. Just so I can get to the other side. I could use my weathering turntable, but I like to be like almost eye level with it, looking down. I'm just going to give it some air now. I've stopped adding the varnish, and this will now dry totally flat. I don't know if you can actually see that happening right in front of your eyes there. You still see areas where it's a little bit shiny. I'll just take it to the cantrail grill area. Hopefully you can see this now drying out. Especially in this area here. Excuse the dirty finger. I've got a dirty finger again. Everybody think I'm up to something with my dirty finger. It's literally just paint, honestly. I'm not a dirty boy. But that's now drying lovely, that is. That's looking really good. Just going to add a little bit there. What I'll do is I'll take you off the tripod in a moment, and you can have a really good look at it. Right, so all the masking is now removed. I've just blown in a little bit on the front of the engine on the top there near the horn and the headlight. I've blown in some roof dirt around the buffers and ETS area, and now we can see the streaking effect and the matte varnish has dried, dulled the paintwork and made this look absolutely fantastic. Such a simple and easy way to fade your paintwork. I've kept the sides fairly shiny, so it looks as if it's a loco in service, but obviously weather and sun has bleached the roof area. There you go. So that is how easy it is to do a fade effect. You could do it on the body sides as well if you wish to. I have done it on the just on the front. I'm just going to add a little bit of gunmetal now around the buffers, add a little bit of grease to them, and then the job will be done, and I'll show you the final results in a moment. So I'm using Tamiya Weathering Master gunmetal, which is this there, with a soft brush. Anything you want to have a metal highlight, you just add it to it. So I'm just going to go over anything that looks kind of metal around the steps. Then we go onto the buckeye. This will highlight any detail around the buffers. On the body side grille there, there's a little bit of a detail sticking out there. We'll just give that a hint of gunmetal. Then we'll quickly just spin it round, do the other end. I don't know if you can see that, but that buckeye is really now coming to life. Touch on the front there. And up there. No, that will accentuate anything to look really, really metal. Now that is almost job done. I'm just going to grease the buffers and then we'll see the end result. So this is the last piece. Please excuse the state of my workbench. It's not the most tidiest in the world, but you know, gets the job done. We're going to grease the buffers using some Humbrol Enamel Gloss 21. Just take the lid off, and you're using one of these things, a cotton bud. Just dab a little bit onto. There we go. It's on the end there, and then just in the middle. Nice little dab there. I think I'll have to make that one a little bit bigger. There we go, that one there, and I'll spin it around. Just do the other end. I know there's a wiper blade missing off the end of there. It's pinged off and the carpet monster's at it. So I'm trying to hide that from you. When I was doing the masking up, the wiper blade came away. So I'm actually, you got to forget there's a wiper blade missing. I will replace it later on, but I just want to get this job done. So when I'm calling this done, so basically what I've done is the bogies are track dirt. This section here is matte black. The tanks are matte black. Hell was that? I made a noise there, didn't it? Don't know what that was. Someone just, oh, it's my airbrush. Made me jump. So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, track dirt, matte black, matte black. I've left the sides. I've done a, a panel line wash using the track dirt. And then we completely matted the roof as well and gave it a streak effect. So what we're going to do, we'll get it on the track over there and you can have a proper look at it on the layout. So there we have it. You can see it a lot better now it's on my layout. You can clearly see the attention to detail the roof has now got. Just that simple streaking effect, adding a little bit of track dirt, adding the exhaust stain, and then that AK interactive matte varnish. Let's just go down slightly so you can have a good look down there. There you have it. It's sitting under a 500 watt bulb at the moment, so you really get a good idea of the weathering. You can see that little technique I did along the cantrail grill there, where that white enamel paint has trapped itself there. And then you can see the greased buffers, the Acura Scale Class 66 buffers, and the proper buckeye. As I say, Forgive the fact that there is a wiper blade missing. I still can't find it. So that's 67025, and that joins its two sisters, which 67016 and 001. So there you have it. That's our project for the day. I'll leave you with a quick video of it going up and down the layout, and then a couple of still shots. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. I hope this inspires you to have a go yourself. Any questions, just get in contact with me. Thanks to everybody who support me on YouTube and on Facebook. Thanks guys, till next time, bye bye.